At 3 a.m., I caught the HOA president slinking through my kitchen window like a thief in the night, her eyes locked on the safe where I kept our property deed. I stood rigid behind the pantry door, my pulse hammering in my chest as she pulled out a key only my wife and I should have had. She opened the safe with the ease of someone who'd done it 100 times. In that moment, betrayal hit me like a gut punch. Someone close had sold me out, and Lisa wasn't working alone. My wife, Emily, didn't flinch. She gave me a single, steady look, then did something that brought police sirens screaming into our quiet street faster than anyone could have predicted. But Lisa wasn't the only one about to get tangled in this mess, and the cost of that night's break-in would spiral far beyond what any of us could have imagined. Let's rewind 3 months to when this nightmare started brewing. My name's Ethan Carter, a 34-year-old former Marine turned cybersecurity consultant after a decade of service. My wife, Emily, our 7-year-old daughter, Sophie, and I live in Pine Hollow, a sleepy suburb in Raleigh, North Carolina, where the biggest scandal used to be a neighbor's overgrown lawn. Our home, a charming century-old craftsman, is the only one in a 5-block radius free from the grip of the Crestwood Homeowners Association. That independence felt like a gift until it painted a target on our backs. Enter Lisa Harper, the HOA president who stormed into office 9 months ago with the zeal of a drill sergeant and the charm of a tax auditor. At 47, she wielded her clipboard like a gavel, measuring hedges with a ruler and snapping photos of mailboxes like she was building a case for the FBI. I didn't know then that her obsession with control had less to do with neighborhood pride and more to do with a shady developer, Pinnacle Properties, dangling promises of big payouts. The first warning came a month ago when Lisa started her daily patrols past our house. She'd linger at our gate, scribbling notes and taking photos of nothing in particular. Our yard was pristine, our house a gem compared to the cookie-cutter homes under HOA rule, but she circled like a shark smelling blood. Emily brushed it off, saying Lisa was probably just jealous of our rose garden, but I caught the way her eyes darted away when she said it. Then came the certified letter from Crestwood's legal team, demanding $4,500 in community upkeep fees we'd never agreed to. Signed by a lawyer named Victor Klein, it threatened a lawsuit within 30 days. The phone number led to a full voicemail. The address, a sketchy mailbox rental in a strip mall 15 miles away. This wasn't just an overzealous HOA, it was something bigger. 2 weeks ago, while I was in Atlanta on a job, something happened that I wouldn't piece together until it was almost too late. Our security cameras caught a woman at our door, posing as an insurance agent. Emily let her in, thinking it was a routine policy review. The woman asked about our schedules, photographed our valuables, and had Emily sign forms for an updated assessment. Later, I noticed the footage showed her lingering by our key rack and studying our alarm system. Emily said it was standard procedure, but my gut screamed otherwise. Then Lisa's campaign went nuclear. She showed up with a measuring tape, claiming our fence was an inch too close to the sidewalk. She grilled our delivery guy about access issues and gave me a smug lecture about how our house dragged down everyone's property values. When I confronted her, her smile was pure venom. Our neighbor, Mrs. Lynn, a sharp-eyed widow who'd lived here for decades, pulled me aside one evening. "Ethan," she whispered, glancing over her shoulder. "Lisa's been asking about your family or work hours, when Emily runs errands, when Sophie's at school. She's not just nosy. Be careful." That night, a black SUV with tinted windows parked across the street for hours. I got a partial plate before it sped off, but my marine instincts were on high alert. Something was coming, and it hit at 3 a.m. on September 12, 2025. Watching Lisa rifle through our safe, I knew this was no impulsive break-in. She moved through our house like she'd studied a blueprint, lifting the portrait above our fireplace to reveal the safe only Emily and I knew about. The QR backup key slid in perfectly. She ignored the cash and jewelry, zeroing in on our deed and mortgage papers, snapping photos like a spy on a mission. This wasn't theft, it was a heist for control. Emily appeared behind me, her face not shocked, but grimly resolved. Without a word, she dialed 911, her voice eerily calm. "There's a woman in our house, going through our safe. Please send someone fast." The way she said woman, instead of intruder, sent a chill down my spine. She knew it was Lisa. I grabbed a flashlight and stepped into the kitchen. Evening, Lisa, I said, blinding her with the beam. Find what you're after? Most people caught red-handed would panic. Not Lisa. She closed the folder, turned, and said coolly, "Hello, Ethan. I'm protecting community assets. Your property owes the HOA, and these documents prove it." She waved the deed like a winning lottery ticket. "I have every right to be here." I laughed, bitter. "Night? With whose key?" She dangled a duplicate of our safe key, smirking. "Authorized access, Ethan. Someone in your house sees reason. Cooperation benefits everyone." The words hit like a grenade. Someone had betrayed us. Then she pulled out a document with Emily's signature, dated 3 days ago, authorizing Lisa to retrieve HOA-related papers. As sirens wailed closer, Lisa's confidence didn't waver. She was playing a deeper game. Officers Daniels and Kim arrived, confused by Lisa's calm and her paperwork. She showed them text messages from Emily's number. "Lisa, come by Tuesday night. Ethan's asleep. Use the side window. The lock's loose." Another read, "Safe keys where I said. Don't wake Sophie." The timestamps were from 3 nights ago, when I was right beside Emily in bed. I looked at her, expecting fury, but her face was pale, her eyes glued to her phone, where those texts sat in her sent folder. "I didn't send these," she whispered, but her voice trembled with something like guilt. The officers reviewed our security footage, and I noticed something new. The insurance agent had a mole on her neck, mirrored perfectly on Lisa's. "You've got a twin," I said, and Lisa's smirk slipped. Her sister, Laura, had posed as the agent, scoping our house and cloning Emily's phone. Neighbors gathered outside, drawn by the flashing lights. Mrs. Lynn confirmed she'd seen 2 identical women, one parking on Cedar Lane, the other on Pine Street. The pieces clicked. Lisa and Laura had orchestrated a months-long con, forging documents and planting fake evidence. But the real gut punch came when Lisa showed the officers an email thread between Emily and Pinnacle Properties, discussing a $1.8 million offer for our house twice its value. Emily broke down. "They came to me when you were struggling with work," she sobbed. "They said it was a chance for Sophie's future, a better school." I just listened at first. Laura, posing as a financial advisor, had manipulated Emily, getting her to sign forms that were later forged into authorizations. They'd even threatened to ruin her reputation if she didn't comply. Then my phone rung an unknown number with a distorted voice. "Mr. Carter, we know Sophie's school schedule. Think carefully about your next move." The line went dead. This wasn't just Lisa and Laura. This was organized, ruthless, and targeting my daughter. But Lisa's parting shot as she was cuffed was the worst. "Check your bank account, Ethan. Emily got $60,000 from Pinnacle yesterday. She's in this now." Sure enough, our account showed the transfer, and by morning, the IRS was calling about unreported income. Pinnacle filed a lawsuit, claiming we'd breached a sale agreement. Every move was designed to trap us. I went into marine mode, digging into Pinnacle Properties. They'd done this before, strong-arming families in 4 other cities, using HOAs to create fake debts and force sales. I set up a meeting with Victor Klein and Lisa, wiring myself with a recorder. At a Raleigh diner, they laid out their final offer, $1.4 million for our house. All charges dropped, IRS issues buried. Victor bragged about their proven model, having resolved 52 similar disputes. Lisa revealed their plan: raise our neighborhood for a $250 million luxury complex. Our house was the linchpin. They even admitted to bribing a city councilor, married to Pinnacle's CEO. Emily, meanwhile, contacted Pinnacle's other victims. She found 28 families with stories like ours: fake fees, forged disputes, forced sales. Some were ready to testify. Mrs. Lynn dropped a bombshell. She was a retired FBI agent who'd been quietly investigating Pinnacle. She traced the threats to Sophie back to Lisa's HOA office phone. Pinnacle's scheme was massive, spanning 4 counties, aiming to displace 500 families for a megadevelopment. Our house was the keystone. Lisa called an emergency HOA meeting, expecting to steamroll us. Instead, 200 residents showed up, armed with evidence. Emily's victim network shared stories of Pinnacle's fraud. My teammate, Rachel Lee, a cybersecurity expert, played recordings of Victor's diner admissions. Mrs. Lynn revealed Pinnacle's assets were frozen, and Victor and the CEO were arrested for racketeering. The room roared. Lisa, cornered, agreed to cooperate with the FBI for a lighter sentence. A year later, on September 15, 2026, Pine Hollow was reborn. A new HOA, transparent and resident-led, required 80% approval for major decisions. Pinnacle's settlement funded a community trust to protect against future scams. Emily became a financial advocate, helping other neighborhoods fight back. Sophie bragged to her friends that we'd saved the block. Our Craftsman house stood as a symbol of defiance. Then I got an unmarked letter with a photo of our house and a note. Your fight inspired us. Join the National Community Defense Network in Seattle. The war wasn't over. Thousands of families faced similar threats. Was I ready to take this national? What would you do if a corporation threatened your child to steal your home? Should communities form national alliances to fight these predators? Or is local resistance enough? Would you forgive a spouse who got pulled into a scam out of desperation? Drop your thoughts below, hit like if this hit home, and subscribe for more stories of ordinary people beating impossible odds. Your voice fuels this fight.